Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'll share the 3 types of people I've encountered during my negotiation process. And by understanding these personalities, I hope you gain valuable insights to navigate negotiation with much more confidence. With that said, let's get started. Here are the 3 types of negotiator you'll likely encounter: the willing, the unwilling, and the maybe. Let's start with the willing employer. This employer is your ideal employer because they're open to negotiation. Let's say you receive a job offer and you want to negotiate your compensation package. You write an email and you create a counter offer asking for higher salary, more PTO, and malpractice insurance coverage. Now, the hiring manager reads your email, acknowledges your request, and says something like this: "Yes, Sam, of course, I totally understand. Let me talk to HR and I'll get back to you." So this hiring manager, she's nice, she's kind, and she's very easygoing. She engages in extensive communication with you. She responds to all of your emails promptly, and she provides you with all the information you requested. She gave you a copy of the employee handbook, the health insurance policy, and she went into great detail about the company's productivity bonus structure. She's great. You really enjoy working with her. With this employer, the negotiation process is much easier. Not easy, just easier, because you still have to go through the brutal process of creating a series of counter offers. And you're gonna have to exchange multiple emails and phone calls until you both reach a mutually beneficial agreement. This entire negotiation process may take a really long time, up to 6 weeks. But this employer is willing to negotiate with you because they value you as an employee and as a provider. Because of that, the negotiation process is much smoother. And this experience is really a positive experience for you because it helps build the confidence right away as a new grad negotiator. Now, obviously, you're not gonna encounter this type of employer that often. In my experience, I've encountered the willing employer about 30% of the time. And I also want you to keep in mind that just because they're willing to negotiate with you doesn't necessarily mean they offer the best or the most competitive offers. In fact, some of these employers have really horrible or even really low ball offers. And most of them, they're aware of it. But they're still willing to work with you to come to agreeable terms. Honestly, I found that these types of employers are often the easiest to negotiate with because they often increase and raise the compensation packages a lot more. Most of the time, these types of employers are the ones that own a privately owned clinic, a small business, or even a small hospital, local hospital. They're usually the easier to negotiate with. Hey guys, quick reminder, hit the smash button if you like this type of negotiation content, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for all new money and medicine content. The unwilling employer. This is not your ideal employer because this employer is not open to negotiation at all. Suppose you receive a job offer and you decide to counter that offer. When the hiring manager receives that counter offer, they're gonna say something like this: "Yeah, Sam, this offer is non-negotiable. This is actually a very competitive offer, and we have a ton of candidates who are willing to take this offer as is. If you want to negotiate this offer, we're gonna have to rescind this offer." Ooh, brutal. Is your red flag waving? Because it should. If it's not, it should be waving. Because this employer refuses to work with you if you attempt to negotiate. And when you encounter this type of employer, you should run as fast as you can in the opposite direction. Because if your employer is not willing to negotiate with you during the initial interview stage, then there's a high likelihood that they will not negotiate with you once you've become an established employee. This means that you're less likely to receive a bonus, a pay raise, or any additional benefits in the future. The salary and the benefits that you are hired at now will likely remain the same for the next few years, despite a rise in inflation, even at 8% inflation. This is sad, but true. Now, it's obvious that these employers do not value you as an employee. They instead think of you as a replaceable cash cow. A cash cow is somebody who comes in and generates profits for the business. Now, in their eyes, they don't care if you don't want to work for $90,000 a year because it's very easy for them to find another new grad PA who's willing to work for a much lower starting salary. And this employer, they often run these churn and burn clinics or even hospitals. A churn and burn clinic is where they hire employees for cheap, they overwork them, they underpay them, and they ultimately burn them out. They rely on the notion that there'll always be another new grad PA willing to accept low paying jobs. As a result, these companies experience extremely high turnover rates, with the oldest employee maybe staying there for 2 years or less. Now, obviously, this type of employer will never recognize your value. They will never change. So please stay away from these employers. How often do you think you actually encounter one of these employers? I would say less than 10%. Most employers expect you to negotiate, and they're not at all offended when you do so. In fact, most employers do not rescind an offer if you try to negotiate, but they will rescind an offer if you demonstrate rude or unprofessional unprofessional behaviors, or if you lose your license or do something outrageous where you have a license restriction. But other than that, typically they will not do it. Luckily for you, you'll less likely encounter this type of employer. The maybe employer. Now this employer is tricky because this employer may seem hesitant about negotiation, but they aren't outright refusing it. When you try to negotiate, they might tell you that their offer is competitive and there's nothing to negotiate, but this is their opinion. They are not explicitly saying that negotiation is off the table. What they're saying is, why would you want to negotiate? That is a very valid question on their end. In this situation, you really have to read between the lines. While they might not actively encourage negotiation, they're actually very open to it. They might tell you that salary is non-negotiable, but that doesn't mean that they're saying that everything is non-negotiable. And this is where most new grads fail at negotiation. Now, this employer is a real pain in the butt because during negotiation, they might make rude or demeaning comments in an attempt to intimidate you. They might mention that they have so many other candidates that they're waiting to interview, basically creating a sense that they really don't need you for this position. But here's a pro tip. There's a good chance they're bluffing. There's probably not that many other candidates to be interviewed. They're playing this scarcity mind trick game on you. Just don't fall for it and don't let them intimidate you. With this employer, you have to understand that they love to engage in the dance, the back and forth negotiation dance. Now, they don't want to give you everything you want. They want you to earn it, which means they like to create maybe a little drama, a little tension, just to see how you respond in this scenario. But if you ask me, I think deep down they enjoy the drama. So with them, the negotiation process may go something like this. You ask for a more competitive compensation package, they laugh at you and they say no. You stand firm on your offer. They say no again, you decline the offer, you walk away. But wait, they come back with a slightly better offer. You refuse and you walk away again. But they come back with even a better offer. And again, you walk away. And then finally, they meet you where you're at, reaching an agreement that aligns with both of your expectations. You see, it's a pain in the butt because with them, you're dealing with a lot of back and forth, dancing, and it's a process. But unfortunately, this maybe employer, well, they're the most common employer you'll likely encounter during your job search. In my experience, I found these employers, they're actually mostly nice and very friendly, and some of them might be a little rough on the edges, but again, most of them are nice. But they still want to do the dance. They want to do the dance. So you got to play along and do the dance with them. It's kind of part of the negotiation process. Something that I've learned to really love, and I know most people don't, but if you kind of master the process of the art, it becomes much easier. And guys, that concludes our video today. If you've experienced any of these employers, please comment below. Let me know your experience. I would love to hear from you, and I hope you found this content very helpful for your future negotiations. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.